AI has completely changed the game. The way people buy has changed. If you are currently solely focused on optimizing pages on your website, you're losing customers. Over the years, we've gotten used to treating our customer journey like a funnel, a linear funnel. People come in, they go all the way through, and at the end, they convert or they don't. But now, as Ram Fishkin once said, the funnel is no longer a funnel. It's a pinball machine. People come to your website, then they go and read a blog post, then they get an email from you, then they get a text message, then they go into Reddit and they read something over there and they have a conversation with people, then they watch a video by someone completely different, and they go through all these different pieces in the customer journey before they make a decision and go back into your website. The truth is that people don't come to your website anymore to make a buying decision. When they come to your website, they are coming in with a checklist. They want to make sure that you have the features that they need. They want to make sure that you're in the pricing bracket that they've put down for themselves. They want to make sure that if you're in B2B, you have the integrations that they need. They have kind of a shopping list. But once they have confirmed that you have all that stuff and that you're in that criteria, then they will leave your website to make a decision on whether to buy from you or not. The decisions aren't happening on the website anymore. They're happening on Reddit. They're happening on LinkedIn. They're happening in conversations in YouTube comments. They're happening in Quora. They're happening in Facebook groups. They are happening all over the web. And when someone goes into ChatGPT and looks for a service or a solution that you provide, when AI shows you, it is going to be pulling in all the information that people have said about you everywhere. AI isn't just pulling stuff from your website. It is pulling the sentiment from all over the web. And if you're not optimizing everything everywhere, then you're not doing the work that you should be doing, and you're not going to get the sales and the results that you need. So if you want to drive more conversions, you can't just focus on your website anymore. You can't just focus on email anymore. You have to control the narrative. You have to know what people are saying about your brand everywhere, and you have to optimize for that everywhere and all the time. So for you, one of the most important things that you have to be focusing on right now is understanding your customers deeply. You have to know them beyond age, geographical location, gender, and device. You have to be able to know what their pains are, what their hesitations are, what concerns they have. You have to be combing the web to understand the sentiment. What are people saying about you? What conversations are being had and are happening right now about your industry or about your competitor? Buyers research so much more before they go back to your website. And in the future, when we have agents and people no longer go into websites themselves to do the actual decision-making process, when someone searches for, I don't know, a blue sweater, AI is going to prompt out 5 different blue sweaters with blurbs about each one, and it's going to give them the options, and they're going to decide right there and then. So when someone goes to your website, they had already made the decision to buy. Does your website still matter? Absolutely. You still have to speak to your customers. You still have to make it about them. You still have to make sure that when people come to your website, the value is very, very clear. What you provide, how people are going to feel after buying your solution and actually hiring your services or signing up to your email list. All of that still matters. But you have to be everywhere. You have to be able to actually understand who your customers are, what they need to learn and know about you. And you have to be talking about that everywhere. Your social posts, when you're posting on LinkedIn, when you're posting a video on YouTube, when you are in Quora answering someone's question, all of that should be around the narrative of your customers. And if you're not doing that, then you're missing out and you will actually lose a lot of customers. So one thing I'm going to ask you to do today is actually really simple. I want you to find out what would happen if someone researched you today without going to your website. What you need to do is you need to go into Reddit threads. You need to look at social comments. You need to find Facebook groups. You need to find the blogs that your customers are reading. You need to listen to the podcasts that your prospects listen to. You need to be in the memberships and communities that your prospects are in. And you need to comb through YouTube for videos by your competitors or yourself. And I want you to look at all the sentiment. What are people saying? What are the repeating emotions? What are questions that people have? What's the confusion that they have around your product or you? What are they not sure about? What's missing? You need to start researching the whole web without your website to figure out what's being said about you. How are you thought about? And if people recommend you, if there's a misalignment between what you're saying on your website and how people are describing you. And one of the easiest ways to do that is to simply go into Reddit and actually search either for your brand. And if you're a small brand, then search for your industry, search for a specific problem that you want to solve. And by the way, if you don't show up anywhere, that is also a problem. That means that you right now might be out of that conversation and you have to be part of that conversation. So if you go into Reddit and write in a pain that people have and your name doesn't come out at least once, you have the problem and you need to start surfacing that. Maybe you need a Reddit account and you need to start actually having conversations with people. You need to be posting more. There's so many different things that you can do to be a part of that conversation. But the number one thing, my task to you this week is I want you to search the web and see how people learn about you, what story is being told about you off the website. If no one ever visited your website anymore, how would they learn about you? What would they learn? What would they hear? What's the negative? What's the positive? Do you even show up? Find that stuff out in order to be able to optimize everything that you do on the website and off. Now, the key here, again, is always going back to the emotion. It's always about the customer. It's not about the tools that you're using. It's not about the technology that you're employing. It's about understanding the basic human decision-making process. If you can speak the same language, if you can speak to people's pains, if you can speak to people's emotional desires all over the web, then when someone actually searches for a problem in an LLM, let's say ChatGPT, they will get all of that information, not just from your website, but from everywhere, and it will be aligned. It would all speak holistically about who you are because AI has changed how people search. When you're in Google, you're putting in a keyword, but when you go into ChatGPT or into Perplexity, you are spilling the beans. You are explaining a lot and you're giving a ton more context than you ever used to on Google or DuckDuckGo or Bing. And then you're going to get back all these suggestions from ChatGPT or from Perplexity or Claude or whatever you're using. And you need to make sure that when that comes back, it's giving the positive information and the story that you want it to tell, and that it's not actually saying things that are incorrect or it's surfacing negative reviews that you never actually commented on. You have to respond to those negative comments. You have to have an active presence online everywhere and shape that narrative and make it about the customers. If you want to learn more about how you can leverage Reddit, I have a really cool video about that will teach you how to do something we like to call social listening that helps you uncover exactly what the sentiment is, what people are saying, and how you can use it to optimize your website, your emails, and everything that you're doing right now. I'll see you next week in another Heart Before Cart episode.